Aspect of the seminar is first of all to observe our emotional reactions. After we observe them, to begin to analyze them, to discover the causes of our emotions, what causes us to feel the way we feel, and in parts of our lives where we're not happy with the way we feel, where we would like to feel differently, we would like to be free from certain emotions, unpleasant emotions, to see how we can transform our belief system, free ourselves from those emotional mechanisms, we will call them emotional mechanisms, which are automatic mechanisms, which work within us independent of our rational thinking, independent of our rational beliefs. We'll be doing that through the various discussions which we have here, but a very important aspect of the seminar will be your keeping a diary and your working on certain questionnaires which you will be given and which you have already been given in this packet that you have for the emotional harmony. Just about all of the questionnaires that you will work with, and the text that you will work with, are in this packet. And the third aspect will be the discussion groups. So this part of the seminar has three basic aspects. It's the teachings, it's your own writing and analysis of yourselves, and the discussion groups which take place after the class each week. It's not a very good time now. We want to sit here now, and we're recording this at this point. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we've already discussed the effect of the physical body on the emotions, and that when the energy body or the endocrine system is not functioning properly, then our emotions are affected. When our energy is low, our emotions are affected. The effect of emotions on our lives is also very clear and becoming ever more clear through various research studies which are being done between the relationship between emotions and health, and especially between emotions and the immune system. In a recent study which I read makes a very direct relationship between ability to forgive and cancer and heart disease and arthritis. It is the ability to forgive other persons and ourselves is a very powerful healing mechanism, and people who are able to forgive contract less illness. So we'll be talking about this relationship between emotions and illness. And you remember a chart that you had which showed how emotions affect the pituitary and the hypothalamus glands, which in return affect the adrenals, and the adrenals then the thyroid, parathyroid, the kidneys, the intestines, even the production of red blood cells. All of these are affected by our emotional states. So the first effect of emotions on our lives is on our state of health. The second effect is on our clarity of mind. I would suggest that our mind is like the sea. It's like a body of water. And when there are many waves on that body of water, it's very difficult to see the bottom very clearly. We can't see very clearly through all that movement. When these waves stop and the water becomes very still, then we see very clearly. I would say that the mind is like this sea, and that the emotions are the waves. And when there are many intense emotions, it's very difficult for us to see ourselves or others or situations very clearly. We see them through this distortion, this intense movement, and we, in a sense, distort that which exists. Our ability to distort reality is incredible. And I've seen this through all of these 20, 25 years of working with myself and working with others, how I distort reality and how others distort reality through our preconceptions and through our previous experiences, projecting our past onto the people and the situations which exist in the present, imagining things and motives and situations which simply don't exist. We're all, to a certain degree, paranoid. And we often see dangers and fear things in which there is no danger. So the second aspect is that our clarity of mind is weakened, is reduced. The third effect of emotions on our lives is on our relationships. It is when we are subject to emotional mechanisms which create within ourselves distrust, fear of abandonment, fear of hurt, fear of rejection. And these create defensive mechanisms in our relationships. Then we begin to destroy our love relationships because we approach these relationships with need and with fear rather than with love. And so this combination of need or attachment or dependency, which is accompanied by fear of being abandoned, fear of being hurt, fear of being rejected, creates a large number of very defensive types of attitudes within the relationship, which gradually destroy the relationship. So the three main aspects in which emotions affect our lives are the three most important things: our health, our state of mind, our clarity, our productivity, our creativity, and our relationships. So it's very important to put all of this into a harmonious state. Let it be very clear from the first day that we're not interested in suppressing any emotions. We're not here to discuss how we can eliminate emotions or suppress. We want to acknowledge, accept, respect our emotions and the causes of those emotions within ourselves without being controlled by them. In a class that we had yesterday, we discussed this example. That is, when I suppress emotions, then I'm suppressing a part of myself which will eventually erupt. We can do it for 1 year, 2 years, 15 years, 50 years, but at some point this suppressed energy is going to erupt within us and is going to control our lives. It cannot be suppressed for a long period of time. When we express them freely without having any control over them, then often they destroy our lives and our relationships. So I would suggest the idea of surfing, that is, if the emotion is the wave, rather than being under the wave, or rather than being suppressing the wave, being on a board on top of the wave and using the energy of that emotion creatively in our lives, accepting it, expressing it, without being controlled or destroyed by it, and without suppressing it.